Previously, reborn 6 hours before the zombie outbreak, Sarah uses memories from her previous life to gather supplies, fortify her home, and shield her daughter Emma, mother-in-law, and brother Alex from both the undead and desperate humans. Months of survival bring shifting challenges, water shortages, violent intruders, extreme weather, and armed scavenger groups forcing constant adaptation. Determined to reach a safe zone earlier than before, they endure loss, betrayal, and near-death encounters, eventually joining a convoy toward their destination. Just as a massive horde threatens to wipe them out, military helicopters led by Sarah's husband Ryan arrive, marking a desperate, hard-earned reunion nearly a year into the apocalypse. The Last Dawn, a rebirth in the apocalypse. Part 3 end. And I haven't told Ryan about the zombie horde yet, so I struggle to rush back into Ryan's arms, back to my body. When I wake up again, I'm in a white hospital room. Ryan sits beside me, adjusting the IV drip. Seeing me awake, he touches my forehead. "You're awake. Do you feel uncomfortable anywhere else? Where are Mom and Emma? What happened to me? They just left to rest. You have severe anemia. The doctor said you probably haven't had a good night's sleep in a long time." The doctor is right. In my previous life and this reborn life, I never had a single peaceful night's sleep. Even the slightest sound, just a bit of wind, could wake me. "Go take care of your duties. I know he has great responsibilities and don't want to delay him." He holds my hand. "When you were unconscious, you kept having nightmares. Let me stay with you for a while." I stare at him blankly. Recalling my previous life, we lived here for almost a year. But having lost family and children, we were usually silent and rarely had such intimate moments. Even when we later wanted another child, we gave up halfway, due to being too heartbroken. Not only us, other couples were mostly the same, all immersed in inconsolable grief. I feel the warmth of his palm. "Ryan, I did it." "Did what?" he asks. I reply, "When we married, I told you, you serve the country, I serve you. I will protect our little family. Now I've done it." He nods and tucks the blanket around me. "Thank you." I sleep peacefully, and in my drowsiness, I seem to hear him say, "Sarah, thank you for saving me too." I sleep soundly for 12 hours without nightmares. When I wake up, Ryan and I go to the rest area to see my mother-in-law and the others. The rest area houses survivors, about 10,000 people now. Alex is in the men's rest area. He and the captain have signed up as volunteers and are currently responsible for logistics in the safe zone. After charging my phone, I restart it and look at the messages I sent Ryan. Now I need to work hard to change the outcome of my previous life. "Ryan, I was reborn," I tell him directly, handing him the phone. "These are messages I sent you before the apocalypse. I knew all this would happen, so I could prepare for survival. I also knew Riverside City would build a safe zone, which is why I found my way here. On March 17th next year, this safe zone will face a zombie horde, and the entire safe zone will fall." Ryan takes the phone with a serious expression, then looks at me with professional suspicion. "Sarah, is the virus related to you? What organization are you from?" His reaction is what I expected. It would be abnormal if he believed easily. "Ryan, once during zombie combat, you were injured and thought you were infected, so you locked yourself up. But it was just a regular injury." This was something he told me in my previous life, saying he'd never told anyone else. Ryan's eyes show surprise. Clearly, he hasn't told anyone else in this life either. "You said you once saved a child like Emma and helped her find her parents. When you saw the family reunite, you secretly shed tears." I tell him events from my previous life one by one. My mother-in-law also swears that I'm a good person. Absolutely not a bad element. Ryan is silent for a moment. Our current outer fortifications can withstand missile attacks, and we have satellite monitoring for large zombie group movements. Logically, what you describe won't happen. I shake my head. Not enough. Far from enough. There are too many of them. And a week before the horde arrives, our monitoring satellite will be destroyed by foreign satellite links. Sarah, you're too tired. Don't overthink. You're safe now. Like my father, Ryan doesn't believe in rebirth. He thinks my mental stress over the year caused hallucinations. I look at him seriously. This isn't my imagination, it's all real. You don't have to believe me now, but on the day the satellite links destroy our satellite, you must have the safe zone prepared and absolutely cannot leave. Then I say nothing more, because my first step plan is just to plant a seed in Ryan's mind. All right, I promise you, Ryan agrees, but I know he's just trying to reassure me. Day 365 of the apocalypse, I become a registration clerk in the safe zone. More and more survivors are coming to the safe zone. I see many people I knew in my previous life. Though they don't recognize me, seeing them standing alive before me again makes me feel this life is worthwhile. Alex occasionally visits me. His university major was industrial focused, and he's been transferred from logistics to weapons production, somewhat matching his specialty. I finally contact my parents. Learning we're alive, they cry and laugh. Mom tells me that half a month after the apocalypse, they modified their car to come find us. But were firmly stopped by the village party secretary and young men, which is why they didn't succeed. If I can't stop the zombie horde here, my parents' safe zone will probably also face disaster. I repeatedly warn them to stay vigilant. Though the safe zone now provides everything, I still maintain the habit of stockpiling supplies and even dig a basement at home. I need to prepare for both possibilities. When Ryan comes home and sees it, he doesn't say anything. A few days later, I hear the safe zone is starting to build underground shelters, and it was Ryan who proposed it. He's always like, this doesn't talk much, just acts. I know the seed I planted has successfully taken root in his heart. Soon, I also see Jake and the captain. Jake went to the oil refinery, while the captain and others joined the city defense battalion. Reportedly, they've killed many zombies and are highly valued. Sister, I really apologize for that time. I hope you can forgive me, the captain says apologetically. It's fine. It's all in the past. I don't hold grudges because I need their help for my second step plan. I suggest to them clearing and widening the moat to store water. If large numbers of zombies arrive, this could slow their attack on the city. The captain, perhaps feeling guilty or thinking it's useful, quickly leads the city defense battalion into action. Due to my excellent work performance, I'm promoted to main logistics coordinator, leading women and children in production and daily life. I use this convenience to often organize people to clear grass and vines near the protective wall, leaving no security gaps. Standing on the city wall looking out at the world beyond, I see death and desolation. May next year at this time, may all things grow. Day 410 of the apocalypse, my 30th birthday. The safe zone has no cake. My mother-in-law makes me egg noodles for longevity. Alex gets 2 beef cans. Emma draws a picture. And Ryan forgets. He's been busy rescuing survivors. We only see each other every 3 or 4 days. Sorry, I'll make it up to you after this busy period. Ryan apologizes. I don't mind. Having my family together is the best gift I could want. Day 448 of the apocalypse, the safe zone captures several zombies for laboratory experiments. I know this experiment will also fail. From the beginning of the apocalypse, global virus field elites have been developing vaccines, but progress has been slow. The safe zone begins encouraging population growth because people mean hope. In my previous life, Ryan and I weren't successful due to my poor mental state. This time, I still refuse. Until the zombie horde crisis is resolved, I won't bring another life into being. When Alex visits during his break, he tells me that because of our safe zone's success, countries worldwide are following suit, building safe zones centered on heavy industrial areas to shelter survivors, with remarkable results. The world is gradually stabilizing. Countries are beginning to share resources and cooperate. This extreme viral infection has stopped wars and conflicts, making people reconsider this world. Day 540 of the apocalypse life in our safe zone has matured. Schools are reestablished and children resume learning. Emma enters kindergarten, and my mother-in-law finds work as a childcare worker there. Everything is getting back on track. Day 647 of the apocalypse New Year's Day arrives. 65 days until the March 17th zombie horde. The safe zone sets off fireworks celebrating the new year. People's grief from the past year is temporarily forgotten in these fireworks. Many people close their eyes and make silent wishes. I do the same, praying for peace. But from this day on, I start having insomnia again. Though Ryan now comes home every night, I still have trouble sleeping. Closing my eyes, I see zombies biting me. Sometimes I wake from nightmares drenched in cold sweat. Ryan pours hot water for me. Let's go to the hospital tomorrow for some calming medicine. This is a heart condition that medicine can't cure. After March 17th, if the safe zone remains intact, my illness will immediately improve. Day 698 of the apocalypse, 7 days until the zombie horde. At midnight, Ryan receives a call with urgent voices on the other end. He immediately sits up in bed. After hanging up, he looks at me. Our satellite has been destroyed. I respond calmly, but my body still trembles uncontrollably. He lights a cigarette but doesn't smoke it. What time did the zombie horde arrive on March 17th? An hour after you set out, around 10 a.m. From which direction? All directions. He extinguishes the cigarette. Get some sleep. I'm going to headquarters. He doesn't return for 5 days. I don't know how he explained it to headquarters. The next morning, 4 or 5 planes leave the safe zone for reconnaissance. At noon, dozens of bombers take off with large amounts of incendiary and explosive bombs, then continuously make return trips. With such large-scale clearing, maybe the zombie horde won't form, and the crisis will be resolved. On the 5th day, the safe zone notifies all elderly, weak, women and children to enter underground shelters, while other able-bodied people await orders. Ryan returns that day. He tells me that although 3 days of continuous bombing cleared many zombies, they're gathering too quickly, some will still reach Riverside City's safe zone. About how many? I ask. His expression is relaxed. Not many. Don't worry. That evening after dinner together, Emma curls up in Ryan's arms, wanting him to tell stories. Ryan holds her for a full hour, until the little girl falls into sweet dreams in his arms, before gently carrying her to bed and tucking her in. My mother-in-law and I pack things for the shelter, while Alex brings lots of food, then hurries back to work. I walk him to the door. At the back of the alley, he turns back and smiles. Sis, the red bag has your favorite coconut candy. I saved up points for a long time to buy it for you. Don't forget to eat it. I know. Be careful on your way. I watch him walk through the long alley and disappear into the night. That night, the moon is like water. Ryan must go to city defense. Before leaving, he suddenly gently embraces me. Sarah, meeting you in this life has been very fortunate. Thank you. He's a reserved, calm person, rarely having such tender moments. I suddenly realize that both he and Alex are saying goodbye to me. Things might be more serious than I thought. In my previous life's zombie horde, if Ryan and his people had been at the safe zone, they could have blocked it with their strength. But now, judging by the scale of bombing these 3 days, The zombies from my previous life should have been mostly cleared. Yet Ryan is so solemn. Could it be that this life's zombie horde is far larger than my previous life's? I remember last year's delayed rainy season and early blizzard. Did many things start changing then? I think I might have made a mistake. I should have kidnapped Ryan as soon as I arrived at the safe zone, then taken the family to my parents' place, or even back to our own home. We could grow vegetables on the terrace, even rice and wheat, raise chickens and ducks, and live quietly. I was too greedy, wanting to save everyone. You must come back. I've spent 2 lifetimes worth of strength to reach your side. You can't disappoint me like this. I hug him tightly, tears streaming down my face. He moves his lips but says nothing, only looks at me deeply, then gently kisses my lips and turns to leave. I know he never makes promises he can't keep. March 17th, day 705 of the apocalypse. My mother-in-law Emma and I hide in the underground shelter with tens of thousands of other women and children. Everyone's eyes show worry. I work with volunteers to comfort everyone. I tell them the underground shelter has enough supplies to last a year. Our moat is wide and deep, so zombies can't easily cross. And even if they do, our city walls are solid enough. We also have over 10,000 soldiers ready to die for us. At 10 a.m., bombing and gunfire sounds come from above ground. The zombie horde has arrived. Everyone prays silently, praying the safe zone can successfully weather this crisis, praying that those fighting above ground will all survive. I also close my eyes in prayer. When I open them, a colorful butterfly lands on my hand. Looking at it, I suddenly realize I've already changed this world. In my previous life at this time, many people, including myself, had already been bitten to death, but now we're all still alive. Ryan, who should have led people away from the safe zone, is now here fighting alongside his comrades. The apocalypse is changing the environment, and I'm changing the apocalypse. Though I'm as small as a butterfly, the wings I've flapped have finally caused this violent tornado. I listen to the sounds outside. The gunfire and explosions are intense. As long as the gunfire doesn't stop, it means human forces are still strong and haven't been suppressed by zombies. Everyone dares not sleep, gripping weapons tightly, ready to fight desperately at any moment. On the 3rd day, loud explosions come from above ground, and the earth shakes. It seems like a wall has collapsed. I involuntarily recall the carnage after the wall fell in my previous life. In less than half a day, the safe zone was overrun, and wherever zombies went, there was no life left. Time passes minute by minute. Besides the earth-shaking gunfire and explosions, no zombies reach here. This battle continues until dawn of the 4th day, before weakening and becoming completely quiet. The shelter is also silent. Everyone stares wide-eyed, not knowing whether zombies defeated humans or humans eliminated the zombies. My heart pounds violently. Even Emma can feel it. "Mommy, your heart is beating so fast," Emma says. My mother-in-law also holds my hand. "Sarah, it's okay. Whatever happens, we're together. Even if it's the road to the underworld, we'll walk it together." I hold them tightly. I don't know how much time passes before the shelter's steel door makes a deep sound. The door opens, and a team of exhausted combat personnel appears before us. The crisis is over. Everyone can go home. The crowd becomes excited, packing up to leave. We follow the crowd out of the shelter. The sky is still dark, and the air smells of gunpowder and burnt flesh. A breeze blows, gradually clearing the air. "Son, do you know the casualty situation?" "My son is called Kevin. Have you seen him?" An elderly man asks a combat soldier. The man replies, "I don't know either, old man. Please go home and wait for news." After hearing this, I quickly run toward the protective wall. The tall protective wall stands unbroken. But I know defending this wall must have come at a cost. That person couldn't possibly not know the casualty situation, he just didn't want to say. In battles against zombies, there are no wounded, only dead. I find Alex by the wall. He's slumped on an ammunition box, covered in dirt and blood with torn clothes, looking like he's taken many falls. Seeing me, he smiles. Sis, believe it or not, these past few days, I moved over 500 boxes of ammunition. Me, someone who can't even run 500 meters, actually moved so much ammo. Pretty awesome, right? Tears stream down my face as I unwrap one of the coconut candies he gave me and feed it to him. Yes, you're the most amazing. This person who called me sister for 23 years prepared to die that day after spending all his points on food for me. He chews the candy. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine after resting. Go find brother-in-law. Ryan. Where is he? Alex points ahead. I last saw him in that direction. I look up and see a collapsed section of the city wall with many people lying on the ground. When I get closer, I see most are zombie corpses, but also many combat personnel. These people's clothes and equipment are familiar. They're from Ryan's elite unit. They're always in the most dangerous places. In my previous life, and this one too. I slowly walk forward, not knowing whether this life will still be reunion followed by separation. The wind blows past my ears as I step through the ruins, not knowing what awaits me. Suddenly, a hand grabs me, and a hoarse voice speaks beside me. Don't go there. That's a restricted zone. I freeze, slowly turning around. The sun has risen in the east, warm sunlight gradually illuminating the earth. Against the light, Ryan stands before me, eyes bloodshot, chin covered with short blue stubble. He's still alive, carrying the smoke and dust of battle. Did we win? I ask. He nods, chin resting on my forehead. Yes, we won. That's good. I embrace him tightly. Through my teary eyes, I see the butterfly from before flying over to land on his shoulder badge, staying briefly before circling around me and flying away with the wind. The storm caused by the butterfly has stopped. My 2 lifetimes of despair, worry, and struggle finally end at this moment. This 3-day, 3-night war is later called the Battle of Riverside City. On the evening the battle ended, Riverside City's virus expert group announced that the antivirus vaccine had achieved initial success. As long as people received the vaccine, humans bitten by zombies would no longer be infected. Only then did I learn that in my previous life, we were just one step away from success. This year, other safe zones also successively faced zombie hordes. But with vaccine protection and Riverside City's experience, the safe zones all survive safely. Other countries also face zombie siege attacks, and our country generously shares its experience. Day 812 of the Apocalypse International Virus Expert Groups develop agents that kill zombie viruses. Humanity sounds the horn of counterattack. Day 1, 40 of the Apocalypse, humanity finally achieves ultimate victory. When the safe zone gates finally open, I walk out with others from this place that protected us for 2 full years. We stand under the vast sky, seeing grass and trees growing vigorously, flowers and trees blooming brilliantly. The world is regaining vitality. My wish from last year standing on the city wall has now come true. Mommy, I want to play over there with Olivia and the others. Emma, now 8 years old, has made many good friends. I nod. Go ahead. Sarah, I'm going to practice first. Call me if you want to go home and rest, my mother-in-law says. This year, she joined a square dancing team and they're training hard, determined to win first place in the competition. Alex doesn't spend much time with us anymore either. He has a girlfriend, and the young couple's relationship is sweet as honey. They're already planning marriage. As for Ryan, he's still very busy. I haven't seen him for almost a month. As for me, I touch my swollen belly 5 months pregnant. The little one is a bit mischievous, occasionally kicking me. I find a place to sit and watch Emma and her friends play. After a while, Ryan calls. "What are you doing?" he asks. "Keeping Emma company. What about you?" "Turn around." I'm puzzled, but when I turn around, I see him in casual clothes standing not far away. I don't know when he got back. He walks over and sits beside me, carrying a bag of my favorite sugar-roasted chestnuts. He peels one for me. I eat it sweet and fragrant, just like before the apocalypse. I don't ask how long he can stay this time. This moment is like Gu Cheng's poem. The grass is seeding. The wind is shaking its leaves. We don't speak, just enjoying this leisurely, beautiful time. "Daddy, you're back!" Emma runs over and throws herself into his arms, acting spoiled. "Daddy, Mommy, Olivia says there's a river here with lots of pretty stones by the bank. Can we go collect stones?" "Sure, let's go now," Ryan says, taking Emma's hand with one hand and mine with the other. Along the way, there are many families of 4 like us, with laughter scattered along the flower-filled riverbank. The sadness of the past has faded. Each of us is working hard to move forward, actively creating new lives. Epilogue: New Beginnings. Years later, when historians study this period, they call it the Great Reset, a time when humanity faced its darkest hour and emerged stronger, more united than ever before. The safe zones became the seeds of new cities, built with lessons learned from the apocalypse. They were more sustainable, more equitable, designed with both nature and human needs in mind. Emma grew up to become a doctor, dedicating her life to ensuring that humanity would never again be defenseless against such a crisis. She often said her earliest memory was of her mother's strength during the darkest days, and that gave her the courage to face any challenge. Alex and his wife had 3 children and ran a successful engineering firm, specializing in sustainable infrastructure. He never forgot those desperate days when his sister's planning and foresight saved them all. My mother-in-law lived to see her great-grandchildren, always insisting that family was the greatest strength anyone could have. She kept the old photos from before the apocalypse and the new ones after, creating a bridge between 2 worlds. Ryan continued his military service until retirement, then worked with international organizations to share the lessons learned from the Battle of Riverside City. He often said that the apocalypse taught him that protecting one person could mean protecting everyone. As for me, I wrote this story not as a record of tragedy, but as a testament to hope, because I learned that even when the world ends, love endures. Even when everything falls apart, family holds together. And even when death seems certain, life finds a way. The butterfly that flew away that day returned the next spring, bringing others. Our garden, the same terrace where I once grew vegetables for survival, now blooms with flowers again. But this time, I tend them not from desperation, but from joy. The apocalypse was humanity's winter. But as with all winters, spring eventually came. And when it did, we were ready to bloom again. The end.